So hello, today we'll start a new topic. We'll start a new module. That is your sixth module. That it covers the portion on vibrations. So today will be your first class on vibrations. So I will discuss about the basic topics of what is the free vibration, forced vibration, okay, damped and undamped systems. So let us start today's topic. This will be your 21st class on kinematics and theory of machines. So now let us start today's discussion on vibrations. So you must have seen vibration with your own eyes. Okay, now thus when some what is vibration? Now what is vibration? Okay, what is vibration? Okay, so vibrations are actually when there are some elastic bodies, okay, like a spring, okay, and when, or suppose a shaft, and when they are displaced from the equilibrium position by the application of some external force, okay, and then released, then they execute a vibratory motion. Okay, you have seen that when, okay, suppose there is a spring over here, okay, and when you pull it in this by application of a force and again release that, then it will undergo a vibratory motion. Okay, it will vibrate about this position, and finally it will return after some time, it will return to the original position. So this is actually an example of a vibratory motion. You have seen these things with your own eyes, or you have performed such activities with your own hand. Now why does a body undergoes vibration? Okay, you can see over here that when the body particles are displaced by the application of some external force, okay, the internal force in the form of the elastic energy are present in the body. So there are some internal forces which are present inside the body. So the internal forces are already present in the body, and these forces actually these forces try to bring the body to its original position. The strain energy which is present inside the body due to the application of external force. Now this strain energy or the elastic energy which is stored in the body, they always try to bring the body to the original position. Okay, and in the process, this strain energy is converted into kinetic energy. This strain energy, the entire elastic body is converted into kinetic energy. The strain energy or the entire elastic energy is converted into kinetic energy, and they continue to move the body in the opposite direction to bring the body to the original position. So due to this thing, the body always tries to return to the equilibrium position, and in this way the vibratory motion is repeated in an indefinite way till the body comes to rest. So I hope you have understood that when we apply an external force, what happens is that there is a lot of internal energy which is stored in the particles of the body, and this internal energy or the strain energy, we can say that strain energy, it tries to it tries to bring the body to the original position, to the equilibrium position, and as a result this strain energy, okay, in this process is converted into kinetic energy, and it tries to bring the body to the equilibrium position, and so it moves the body in the opposite direction of the application of the force. Okay, so this process repeats. As a result, vibratory motion takes place until the body comes in the equilibrium position. Okay, so this is the basic concept. Okay, now we will discuss about the various terms. Okay, so another example of this vibratory motion is that of a simple pendulum. Okay, in a pendulum you have seen this thing. Okay, it moves in this way, it from one extremes to another extreme. Okay, so it moves from the two extreme positions, and this is the main position. Okay, so this motion repeats itself after an interval of time. Okay, so this is an example of vibratory motion. This can be also said to be a simple harmonic motion. Okay, so this is an example of vibratory motion. A common example is pendulum. Very easy thing. Okay. Now before that we will discuss about the reasons for vibrations. Okay, why vibrations actually occur. From the mechanical engineer's perspective, we will study that what are the reasons for vibrations, or what are the reasons for the failure of the machinery. So what are the reasons for vibration? Okay, so number one, I will just write the points. That unbalanced forces in machine, due to the presence of unbalanced forces, in machines. Okay, so this is due to the forces which are produced within the machine. So the forces produced within the machine, due to the generation of internal forces, this vibration takes place in machine. So this is the first point, the most important point. Second is friction. Due to the friction between two mating surfaces. Okay, so this produces a self excited vibration due to the presence of dry friction between two mating surfaces. Okay, so due to the third point is due to the external forces, due to the presence of some external forces, okay, which may be periodic forces, or random forces. This is also a cause of vibration, due to the presence of a continuous external force. Fourth point is due to earthquakes. These are natural causes. Okay, earthquakes. Okay, these are responsible for failure of buildings. And dams. Okay, and the fifth point is due to wind. This is also a natural cause, and this causes vibration, and it also may cause vibration, and this causes damage to transmission lines. Okay, and also due to some bridges. Okay, some small bridges. Okay, wind is also responsible for vibration in small bridges, as we have seen in some places, example in tourist places. Okay, so these are mainly the causes of vibration in machines. Okay. Okay, now we'll discuss about the terms. We'll discuss about the terms in vibration. So this is only a recapitulation, so I will just say about this briefly. That now what is a periodic motion? First thing, okay, the motion which repeats itself after an equal intervals of time. Which repeats itself after an equal interval of time. Like the example is that of a pendulum. Okay, it has the same time period. So this is an example of a periodic motion. Okay, so I am not writing this thing. Okay, which repeats itself in equal intervals. I am only writing the key point. Second definition is that of a time period. Okay, so what is this time period? It is a time interval after which the motion is repeated itself, or the interval of time, or the time taken to complete one cycle. Okay, suppose see this pendulum. So one cycle means from here to here, and again from here to here, and again from here to here. So this total is from here to here to here till here. This is a one cycle. Okay, so this is the time period. So the time taken to complete this one cycle is this time period. Okay, you have understood this thing. Now the third definition is frequency. Very important term. Okay, so frequency is the number of cycles per second. Number of cycles that take place per second. Number of cycles per second. Or number of cycles per unit time. Anything you can say. Number of cycles per unit time. And this is expressed in Hertz. So this is also can be said this is an inverse of the time period. Inverse of the time period is the frequency. Okay, so if you can find the time period, you can also find the frequency. So these are the basic terms. Another term is this simple harmonic motion, or SHM. So what is the simple harmonic motion? How can you define a simple harmonic motion? So simple harmonic motion is a periodic motion. It is a periodic motion. It is a periodic motion of a particle. It is a periodic motion of a particle whose acceleration is always directed towards the mean position. So periodic motion of a particle whose acceleration is always directed towards the mean position. So this pendulum is an example of a SHM. I have already said, but the acceleration always acts in this direction towards the mean position. This is the mean position. So whatever may be the position of this ball, the acceleration always acts in this direction towards the mean position. So this is an example of a simple harmonic motion. Okay, so very simple thing. So these are the terms. Anything I have left out? Another term, that is amplitude. Another term is amplitude. So what is this amplitude? Amplitude is the it is the maximum displacement of a vibrating body from its mean position. So you can see over here this is the maximum displacement of the body from its mean position. Okay, so this can be said to be the amplitude. Okay. So these are about the terms which are used in a vibratory motion. Okay. These things I hope you have already studied in your 11th and 12th class. Okay, so this is just a recapitulation. Now we'll discuss about some other things. Now we'll see about the types of vibratory motion. Types of vibratory motion. Okay, so these are of mainly two types. One is the free vibration. Free or natural vibrations. So what is the free or the natural vibration? So these vibrations this vibration of a system is due to its, this type of vibration is due to its okay, so mainly this free vibrations, it occurs when there is no external force. So first point is that there is no external force which acts on the body. First point. No external force that acts on the body after an initial displacement. So this type of vibrations is known as a free vibrations. So this vibrations takes place due to the own elastic property. Due to its own elastic property of the body. And there is no external force. So this type of vibrations and the frequency of this free vibrations is known as the natural frequency. So the frequency of this type of vibrations is known as the natural frequency. So the next type is the forced vibration. So this is just the opposite of the previous one. So what happens is that here that the body vibrates under the influence of external force. Vibrates under the influence of external force. So this external force, this external force is actually an external periodic force. So this force is a periodic disturbing force created due to unbalance. So this vibrations has the same frequency as external force. Okay, so this frequency of this vibration is same as that of this external disturbing force. Okay, so this is about the forced vibration, that it occurs due to external force, and the vibration and the frequency of this vibration is same as that of that external applied force. Okay, then due to this the phenomenon of resonance occur, which we will discuss later. Okay, so these are mainly the two types of vibration. Now another type of vibration is also there, that is known as the damped vibrations. Okay, so damped vibration. So what is this? That when there is a reduction in amplitude, of amplitude over every cycle, of vibration, it is said to be damped vibration. So like this vibration, suppose it's taking place and its amplitude slowly decreases. Suppose this is the mean position, and this slowly decreases and reaches an equilibrium after some point of time. So this is an example of a damped vibration. Okay, so this occurs due to the fact that a certain amount of energy which is possessed by the system is dissipated due to overcoming the frictional resistance of the motion. So energy is dissipated due to when it overcomes the frictional resistance of motion. So this is about the damped vibration. We'll discuss about the various types of free vibrations in the coming classes. So for today we close our discussion over here. We'll further discuss about the different types of natural vibrations in the next class. So thank you.